This is just a terrible design. But luckily SmallRig have the solution. Hello, my name is Jonathan Palfrey. Welcome back to my channel. Please like and subscribe as always, as it massively helps me out. Today is a very quick review of a product, to be honest, that should not exist. It's fixing problems that the camera should have not had in the first place, but luckily, thanks to SmallRig, there is a solution to those problems. It is a top plate and base plate with handle for the Canon C70. If you're watching this video, you probably know what the issues with the C70 are when it comes to their mounting points. And well, first off, it is the awful top handle that comes with the camera. Now, cameras don't often come with very good accessories. They're often a bit rubbish and you know, there's better solutions by third parties out there. But this one is particularly bad. I mean, compared to all of the other top handles I've had on other cameras that have come from the manufacturers, this is by far the worst. It's really plasticky, it's poorly made, there's only one mounting point on the top there with that hot shoe, and nothing on the front, there's no uses on the sides or anything like that. Yes, you can attach your mic adapter on there, but beyond that, it is really, really poor. It's not very nice to use, not very nice to hold, and it just isn't that useful at all. If you're getting a Canon C70, you need to find an alternative to this. Unfortunately, that isn't the only problem with the Canon C70 design out of the box. The other issue is on the base plate, where they for some reason decided to put 3 screw holes horizontal rather than vertical along the camera. What I mean by that is every single tripod mount in all existence has always pointed forwards, where you have the 2 mounts, one in front of the other. For some reason with this camera, they decided to put 3 mounts, great, but sideways. Now the argument is that it's great to use with a gimbal, but I really don't get that argument because A, you don't reuse gimbals all the time, you're more likely to be using a tripod, which is going to be forward facing, and B, the gimbals already come with the adapters to kind of convert going from forward to sideways when it comes to the mounting points anyway. So with those 2 issues, this is where SmallRig have come in and come up with solutions. When it comes to the base plate, as you can see, they have 2 screw mounts that go into 2 of the holes on the bottom of the C70. This gives you a nice selection of mounts that point in the right direction on the camera. There's still a bit side to side there in case you want to use it with a gimbal, which is actually the correct distance apart, unlike the ones that come with the camera. Also, one cool bit of design that Sigma seem to be doing on all their new base plates is this little holder position for a little screw adapter so you can easily screw up your tripod plates onto the base. And it just means you don't have to find a key or a coin. You know, you can just store it there and it's ready to go whenever you need it. It seems to be pretty secure. It seems to stay in position and you can just pull it out quickly and then tighten up your tripod. When it comes to the top, there are 2 parts, of course. There is the top handle and then there is the plate. Now with the plate, it is held in position just by one single screw because, well, there's nowhere else to attach anything onto the camera up here, unfortunately. Maybe compared to other cages, it wouldn't be as secure, but it is held in place pretty well and you can tighten up using the Allen key provided. Now this top plate is nice and flat, it contours to the shape of the camera as well, so it doesn't really add any bulk, which is nice. Similar to the base plate actually, it fits very nicely, so almost when it's attached, you don't even notice it is there. On top of here, you have got plenty of more mounting points all on the top, also on the front. You've also got a nice little cold shoe mount right there, which is very useful position because it's very close to the mic inputs on the side. And you've got a array locking pin bit there, so in case you've got certain adapters for that, which is nice to have. And of course you can see that it's got this kind of ridged bit here along the top, and that is where you attach your top handle. Now in terms of actually attaching the top handle, once again it's got these array locking pins on either side, so it makes it fairly secure. It certainly stops it from twisting side to side. I personally wouldn't say this is the perfect design. I do prefer Tilter's approach where they actually have it slot into the top of the camera, like into a cold shoe, and then it screws down. It just feels like extra security, so even if this screw comes a bit loose, you know it's not just going to fall off instantly. I expected actually with this top plate, that's how I thought it attached before I purchased it, because you can see with the back there, it looks like you'd expect it to kind of slot in. That isn't the case, unfortunately. It doesn't actually slot into the back. It actually goes to the front where the 2 pins are. Now, in terms of the top handle itself, this is much nicer feeling and much nicer to hold, and balances the camera much better than the original Canon top handle that included with the camera. It's such a big improvement, and of course gives you plenty of mounting points as to be expected from SmallRig nowadays. And of course the build quality is excellent because it is once again SmallRig. Cleverly integrated into the side, of course, is your Allen key, and it sort of magnetically is held in place in the side there, which is great. And then on top, you've got two cold shoe mounts, one at the back and one at the front, which is very, very useful. Now, I do personally prefer having a cold shoe on the front of the handle, just because I like to slot down my monitor mount onto there instead. It just feels a little bit more secure, but also it brings it down a bit lower, so it's less in the way when doing handheld work. I prefer that position. So I've mounted it onto there. That's just using one of their own cold shoe adapters that are fairly cheap to buy online. Now, of course, when you do that though, it does block this other hot shoe, which is a bit of a shame. It's a shame maybe this wasn't flat so that you could have both on there instead of having to pick one or the other. You, of course, if you wish, you could have this also in reverse. You can mount it either way. Personally, I always prefer it this way around because it just feels more correct. Maybe that's just my background, but I do see people sometimes they have it around the other way. So there you go, the top plate, base plate and top handle for the Canon C70 by SmallRig. It's one of those products, like I say, that should not exist. You know, Canon should have made it so that you didn't need to buy these accessories to make the camera more functionable. But luckily, SmallRig are out there and they make great products and for affordable prices that have solved all the issues that the Canon C70 had. Let me know what you think about this system. Do you think it's the best option, or do you think maybe there's a cage out there that is better for it? Personally, I prefer going a bit lighter weight. I think, you know, the camera's big enough as it is. It doesn't need a cage as well on top. And these just fix the few issues that the camera has in terms of ergonomics. If you've enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe as it massively helps me out, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.